Good morning, everybody. This is K. Balakrishnan. Presently, we are dealing with the subject called as strategic management. In the strategic management, we are dealing with the topic called as external analysis. In fact, to say that external analysis is a part of environmental analysis. External environmental analysis includes the Pestle analysis, the SWOT analysis to some extent, and many other supplementary analysis. First of all, what do you mean by an external analysis? External analysis includes study of customers, study of competitors, study of competition, study of demand conditions, study of supply conditions, study of determinants that affect the business environment, and many other things to be taken into consideration. It studies whether the company can gain the competitive advantage or not. It studies how the company can develop the core competencies or not. It studies various number of details which need to be assessed carefully. The study of external analysis is important because it is highly uncontrollable. It is a study of highly uncontrollable environment. So before the release of strategies, every strategic manager has to take a job of studying the internal as well as external spheres, particularly the external, that is uncontrollable sphere of the market. So in this class, we will discuss about various techniques of strategic analysis, strategic external analysis, and together with this, we also know about various other issues in detail. First, in the external analysis, there is one analysis which is called as Pestle analysis. In the Pestle analysis, we give a complete framework regarding the determinant factors that analyze the company. So in this class, external analysis will study about determinant analysis in detail. First, as a part of determinant analysis, we study about political factors. What do you mean by political factors? Political factors include many other aspects like country's current political status, in the sense that the government in the country is completely stable, or whether the government in the country is dependent on the corporates, whether the government favors the privatization, or whether the government favors other things. What is the policy or attitude of the government towards new products? What is the policy or attitude of the products regarding the technological dumping and many other aspects. Apart from this, we also have to see about political conditions that the present situations are operating in, which helps the company to take the advantage of exporting or importing the goods directly. Political factors includes the government policies. For example, now the government has carried out all the ways stating that all health products which are released are exempted from certain amount of concession in the tax. This is a favorable policy for starting a pharma unit. This is a favorable policy for stating the expansion for the existing pharma units. Next, taxation policy of the government. If the taxation policy is rigid, it is very hard for the companies to exist internationally. But if the taxation policy is liberal, then it is very easy to exist in the market for a long period of time. Stability of the government. If the government is stable, rules and regulations, laws and acts will be stable. And this creates a favorable environment for any business enterprise to move on. Entry mode regulations. If the entry modes are highly regulated, that is, what are the entry modes into international business? Licensing, franchising, joint venture, mergers, acquisition, subsidiaries, and other things are entry mode into international business. These entry modes are highly regulated in India, but because of the political conditions, these entry modes are restricted, and they can be these can be easily accessed in the present situations if the stable government is present. E for economic factors. What are all the determinants of economic factors? First and the foremost determinant of economic factor is the direction. Is conclude the direction in which the economy moves. Direction in the sense the guidelines, path, or the way towards the government moves. Next one is analyze these factors. First, the factors need to be studied and each factor need to be analyzed. What are all the factors? In the below table, I've given all the determinants or factors that affect the economic environment. First, the factor direction need to be studied. Later, the factor need to be analyzed. And finally, the implementation of rules and regulations and strategies must be done based upon this factor analysis. First and the foremost is inflation rate. If the inflation is high, money value decreases. If the inflation is high, the prices of commodities will increases. So stocking becomes an option for many of the people. Interest rates. If the interest rates are increased and decreased, the capital availability to the firm will be affected, and thus expansion strategies will be affected. Disposable income of the buyers. If the buyers are having highest amount of disposable income, then service sector booms. As the service sector booms, the tangibles associated with the service also booms. In this way, the company's marketability of the products will also be increased. Credit accessibility. Credit accessibility in the sense, if the interest rates are variable or flexible or favorable, automatically huge amount of credit options will be present in the market. And these credit options make the capital available, and this will help in expansion policy. Next, unemployment rate. Unemployment rate is more, then automatically less amount of salaries can be paid to the employees. So because the employees don't move from one organization to the other, and thus what happens is it's a save for the business firm. Monetary or fiscal policy. Monetary policy includes the money stability, that is, money value is liberalized by maintaining an equilibrium in the supply and demand for the currency. Next one is fiscal policy, is nothing but the taxation policy, which determines whether the number of companies need to be established or not, or for established companies whether they can export or import is divided based upon the taxation policy. Next, as for social factors includes various aspects which I have listed here. First and the foremost is the attitude and mindset of the people have to be identified. For example, an Indian consumer is price conscious, whereas other people are not as price conscious as Indian consumer. So most of the companies pour the products into the economy based upon one factor, that is price and moderate quality. Next, what are all the factors that affect the social environment is cultural implications. Coca-Cola was driven away from India before 90s, stating that its alcohol content is more. Next, the gender and the demographics associated with it. The gender, many products targets on middle age groups because the number of people belonging to the middle age is more, especially the women segment is targeted to the maximum extent because most of the consumers come from those virgin and the decision makers are completely them. This is social lifestyles. The lifestyle of the society makes the people purchase more, and their consumption patterns in the service sector totally depends upon the social lifestyles. Next, domestic structures. Usually flat structures are employed in India. Education level is more, then automatically the technical products can be sold out and other things. Next, distribution of wealth. If the distribution of wealth is even, then there is a chance to escape from inflationary aspects, and this inflationary aspects can be prevented, and monetary stability can be achieved through the even distribution of wealth, which can be done through the government rule or government policy making and strategies. Technological factors. Technological factors includes dumping of technology into the market or removing the outdated technology into from the market. Here, environmental analysis helps to update to the changes in the technology. If that environment says that the technology is outdated, then it must be replaced in very few time. If these alterations are not done as per the environmental demands, then the company perishes. Firms should integrate whenever needed and disintegrate whenever needed based upon the financial positions, based upon the marketing positions, based upon the technical aspects also. Huge amount of R&Ds have to be adopted so that new technologies need to be developed and obsolete technologies must be thrown away and new technologies have to be established. Innovative product ideas are encouraged and these innovative strategies need to be adopted for their success. Legal changes or legal factors. In the legal factors, what happens is there must be a regulatory body. For example, the banking sector by RBI, insurance sector by RBI. In this way, securities market by SEBI. In this way, every business need to be regulated, or otherwise fair competition will not be there, and this will lead to the downfall of the business itself. They have to analyze the legal developments also, legal developments in the sense how the economy flourishes and how the economy diminishes. There are a large number of legal factors which they have to see. First and the foremost legal factor is the product regulations. What do you mean by product regulations? The government product regulations. What do you mean by product regulations in the sense? The product regulations includes many aspects like the banned products like alcohol need to be removed. Next, employment regulations. That is, the usage of technology sometimes minimizes the usage of employees. Competitive regulations must be followed. Next, patents must be used. And if any person copies the patent rights, then they can be sued legally. There are various laws for regulating the products and employees. There are various laws for taking the competition. For example, product regulations. For example, competitive regulations are through CCI and employment regulations through HR. That is employment regulations are through the Industrial Relations Act and through the Trade Union Act and many negotiations acts and many other things. Patents need also to be safeguarded. Environmental factors. The first and the foremost environmental factor that affects is the location of the enterprise. If the enterprise is located nearer to the markets, if the enterprise is located nearer to the intermediaries, nearer to the suppliers, then transportation costs can be saved and huge amount of resources can be saved. Climate and weather. If the climate and weather conditions are not favorable, then certain products may not perish from the market as well. Waste disposal laws. Many factories are being closed just because of not following the wastage and many other things. Energy consumption. Nowadays, consumers are preferring those products which consume least amount of energy. Only eco-friendly products are encouraged in the present day environment. In the external environment, there is a number of factors like first and the foremost factor is it is a continuous process. It is a continuous process because in the external environment is uncontrollable and has to be changed every moment. All the opportunities present in the environment should be encased and the challenges should be met very heavy-handed. Before formulation of strategies or objectives, external environmental analysis should be done. The knowledge process must be increased. That is, continuously every employee, every business firm should update itself, otherwise they will be in vain. The opportunities or threats must be carefully examined. Opportunities must be encashed and threats should be minimized. What is the importance or necessity of external analysis? The first and the foremost external, first and the foremost importance of external analysis will be viable plans which we develop, the plans which are realistic, the plans which are possible, the plans which are believable should be employed. Next one is measure for the competitive environment. Measures for the competitive environment in the sense the total environmental conditions should be observed carefully and competition should be faced with and the competition should be minimized. For example, take the case of cement companies. All the cement companies have formed a syndicate together, and such will become an anti-competitive agreement, and this will result in increase the prices, and such agreements should be impeached. Formulation of successful plans. If external environmental analysis is done, then automatically new ideas can be generated, new plans can be formulated, new strategies can be suggested to the management. And finally, best alternative is advised to the among the available alternatives. An alternative can be selected only after careful examining of all the available alternatives in the market. For example, we have money in our purse and we wanted to buy a bike. If our objective is cost, we buy Bajaj. If our objective is durability, we buy Honda. If the objective is moderate, we buy Hero. In this way, every product to be purchased has an objective behind. And there are a large number of alternatives available in the market. And the best alternative has to be selected from the available alternatives after carefully examining the number of competitors in the market. Use of profit opportunities to the business. It's leadership of the market. In India, present case, the business firm which produces least cost products will become the leader of the brand market. Future threats have been how to be met. For example, Maruti 800 was unable to update its model, so it perished. Bajaj scooters were unable to update their model, so they have perished. Challenges. They have to face the challenges which are present in the market. For example, Coca-Cola has came out of the rumor that pesticides are present in it. Residents of institutions and entrepreneurs. Many entrepreneurs have to be encouraged such that many entrepreneurs will enter into the business only if the opportunity, they enter into the business only after carefully examining the competition, after carefully examining the external environment of the business. This is a comprehensive framework regarding what do you mean by external analysis. We have studied the Pestle analysis, we have studied the importance of external analysis and many others. Thank you.